Hey guys, it's Mario here, coming at you from a little bit of different environment to talk to you a bit about gaining weight. And this video is for all my hard gainer bros that I didn't forget you guys. You know, I talk a lot about losing body fat, how to get shredded, how to get ripped, but I didn't forget all of you guys that are hard gainers. And I know that there's a huge population out there of people who are struggling with gaining weight. But before we get into that, as you guys can probably see, I'm coming at you from a little bit of a different environment. This is not Mexico, it's not a sunny beach. I'm actually here in Europe right now, came back home for holidays, for Christmas, to visit my family. And here it's very cold. As you can see from my voice a little bit, I've actually caught a cold as well. As soon as I came here from very hot, which is about 30 Celsius in Mexico, here it's -5. And yeah, the environment is totally different. The air is drier. I've definitely noticed a lot of things that my body is still adapting to. It's gonna take a couple of days, but still, I mean, no excuses. Gonna keep putting out great content to help you guys, and especially you guys hard gainers, because I know it's been a while. It's been a while since I put out a video on how to gain weight, and I want to make this one simple. I don't want to go into too much of a science here, because I think I've delved into science a lot in previous videos on how to gain weight, so I'm gonna put those links in the description below for you guys that want to dive into kind of top 5 tips or top 3 tips and things like that that are based more on science. In this one, I want to talk to you a bit about a very simple way how you can get your body to want to increase weight. And by weight, I mean muscle mass. I don't mean going from skinny to skinny fat. And I don't think that's in your best interest as well. I definitely don't think anybody wants to do that. And I mean, as a hard gainer, there's a ton of people who will judge you when you, let's say, make a post on Facebook, or you make a post on a forum or somewhere like that. I mean, probably the first 15 replies will be eat more, or track your calories and make sure you're eating more. And that is all great advice, and you probably heard it so many times that your head hurts when you start reading those comments, because you know that you need to eat more, but your body doesn't want you to eat more, and that's the big issue. Why doesn't your body want you to eat more? And I think it really comes down to what a lot of people neglect, a lot of hard gainers neglect, is a simple fact that you want to exercise. You want to do some resistance training. And I see a lot of hard gainers totally missing the picture in this and focusing on weird on mass gainers, on hard gainer supplements, on all kinds of programs out there that are kind of force feeding them to eat more calories, which in reality, if you just give your body a reason to eat more, it is going to want to eat more. And how you give your body a reason? Well, increasing your energy expenditure, and because you want to build muscle, resistance training is your best bet. Resistance training itself will handle 50, 60, maybe I would say 70% of the whole hard gainer issue. Because if you start resistance training, if you start going to the gym and getting yourself stronger, if you start going, let's say, 3 to 5 sessions a week, say if you're doing 5 sessions, if you're a beginner, you probably don't want to go all out, train to failure. In general, as a beginner, you probably don't want to train to failure, but you do want to keep adding weight to the bar. And as a hard gainer, what is your body going to do when you do that? What do you think? It is going to want to eat more food, because now you're giving it a reason to grow. You're giving the body a reason to put on size, and the right type of size. You're not gonna gain body fat, and hard gainers are in a really good situation, I would say. I mean, as soon as you put on a little bit of muscle mass, you're gonna look fantastic. Your abs are gonna pop out. You're gonna look much bigger compared to someone who is overweight, who is then leaning down and building muscle at the same time, which is, for the most part, a majority of people who I work with. I mean, it's usually an issue of losing body fat, and that's why you guys see me make a lot of videos on that. But for hard gainers, I would say it doesn't take that much effort to build a fantastic looking body and to have that Hollywood physique, to have that Brad Pitt Fight Club physique, to have that superhero physique, or whatever you want to call it, basically the type of physique that you would see in a TV series. And those guys, I mean, if you're a hard gainer, you already have the leanness, but the issue is just having a little bit more lean body mass. And building muscle and getting stronger in the gym, that's what's going to get you there, because it's going to naturally stimulate your appetite in the right way. Your body knows, for the most part, I mean, it is screwed up in the modern environment, but for the most part, if you give it a reason, it is going to fuel that appetite and is going to get you to eat more. And that is the first thing I would look at. If you're not exercising 3 to 5 days a week, you can just stop watching this video right now and shut down your computer and get your ass to the gym. I mean, what are you doing here, right? If you're not going to the gym 3 to 5 days a week, any other piece of advice on fixing your hard gainer situation is a waste of time. And I don't know why people don't see this. And it's such a crazy thing that when you think about it, why aren't people going to the gym? And you don't see that many skinny guys going to the gym. And I really don't see that. A lot of guys that I talk to actually tell me, well, first, I'm going to gain a lot of weight just by eating more, and then I'm gonna get to the gym. What's gonna happen if you start eating, let's say, even if you do manage to force yourself to eat, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000 more calories to get yourself to gain weight? What weight is that going to be? Can you guess? It's gonna be body fat, right? It is not going to be muscle mass. Nutrition doesn't get you to build muscle. Nutrition is a permission to build muscle. The stimulants, the actual thing that is causing muscle growth, is resistance training. It is getting that progressive overload, getting stronger in the gym, putting that tension, that evolutionary pressure on your body to grow. And that's not gonna happen through you eating more protein and handling your diet. And I'm not saying that is not important. Obviously, you gotta be in a caloric surplus to build muscle, but caloric surplus itself doesn't cause muscle growth. It doesn't cause strength growth. It is about putting the effort in the gym. And you don't see a lot of hard gainers in the gym. And that's kind of what makes me sad when I read a lot of forums. And that's why I kind of want to make this video shorter. I don't want to go into the science. I don't want to go into what is the trick of food variety, what is the kind of eating more with friends, eating out more, getting more into dark chocolate and things like that, like drinking more of your calories because it makes you less fuller so you can eat more. I mean, all those are great tips, and I agree with you guys. That is fantastic, and you probably know all of that. And that's the whole point of this video. You probably already know exactly what you need to eat. You know what has a lot of calories. You know what are healthy foods that have a lot of calories. Things like extra virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. There's nothing wrong with just getting a whole pile of peanut butter and eating it in a day. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with just adding a couple of glasses of milk on top of that and just doubling down on, let's say, kefir or something like that. Or, as I said, dark chocolate. I mean, all great sources, fatty fish. I mean, all healthy foods. But you already know this. And the thing is that, let's say you do that one day and you're kind of trying to force feed yourself and you're not doing exercise. Maybe you do stick to, let's say, eating 2,000-3,000 calories. You stuff yourself for one day. Tomorrow you eat 1,500 calories because you're not hungry anymore, right? There's no reason for you to eat more. Your body just shuts off those hunger signals and bam, you're not hungry anymore. The next day, you don't eat anything, barely. You kind of fast all day. You skip a meal and bam, you're back to square one. Your total weekly calorie intake was the same as before, despite the fact that you did maybe eat a little bit more on some days and the other days you compensated for that. And the point that I'm trying to make here is get your ass to the gym and then worry about your diet. Then add more calories in your diet because you're naturally going to fix the calorie intake if you put more demand on your body because, I mean, exercise itself is a keystone habit. It fixes a lot of other things, not just giving you kind of a stimulus to eat more, but you're gonna sleep better. You're gonna have less stress in your life. You're gonna have a lot of less things. And when we talk about stress, we know that certain population out there will actually eat more when they're stressed. Other types of people will actually eat less when they're stressed. So there's a huge variance when we respond to stress in general. Some people just don't prefer to eat a lot when they're stressed. So keep an eye on what type of person are you. So maybe you just need to chill out a little bit, and that will kind of get your appetite to go up. And now, once you handle the exercise things, where to look into next? So that's kind of, okay, so you handle the exercise. Okay, you bros who are exercising, I'm not gonna rant on that anymore. What do you do next? Well, now you wanna look into becoming a master of behavior change. You wanna cultivate the skill of changing behavior because the behavior here is the issue. The habit of eating more is the issue. It's not necessarily that you don't know what you need to eat, but it's how do you implement that on a day-to-day basis. And here I would say that list of foods that I mentioned, of course, I'm gonna put those in the description below for you guys that just wanna write those down. And it's really about creating a food environment in your house, wherever you spend your most time when, where those foods are readily available and there's no friction between you eating those foods immediately if you need to. And it's probably gonna take a couple of weeks of force feeding until you train your body to eat 4, 5, 6 times a day, right? So it's gonna take you a couple of weeks. It's gonna take a couple of weeks of force feeding, and that's completely normal. Probably not a good idea to do things like intermittent fasting. You know, intermittent fasting, great tool for losing body weight, body fat. I mean, it's easier to stay in a caloric deficit because you're probably going to be less hungry. But for a hard gainer, for someone who's interested in gaining weight, probably not a good idea to do intermittent fasting on any kind of fasting. Your goal should be actually to make sure that you get at least 4 meals a day, 4 to 6 meals a day. Spread them out as much as possible. Higher meal frequency tends to increase hunger in a lot of people. If it's not you, if you feel like you can eat a lot more if you just do 3 meals, sure, go for it. After you take my advice, after you take any advice from a YouTube video or in general from a study, from a blog post, from whatever the hell you get your information from, it is coming down to N equals 1, like Dr. Brian Schoenfeld says, right? After you take a piece of advice, now it is about self-experimentation. It is about seeing how that piece of advice applies to you. And if that piece of advice, is nuanced, which is nuanced, definitely when we're talking about applied science such as exercise and nutrition, you want to see how that applies to your life. So if 6 meals a day doesn't make you more hungry, if you tend to eat less, if you feel less hungry after a whole month, well, okay, probably a good idea to try to reduce the meal frequency and try that again, right? So there's a variety of things you can do, and I would say, first, number one, make sure that you're going to the gym. Don't even watch videos anymore. If you're not going to the gym, if you're not doing strength training, this is all useless information for you, right? This is all a waste of time. Once you handle that, then you go into behavior. The fastest way you're gonna change your behavior, the fastest way you're gonna make yourself build muscle and gain weight, if you're struggling with getting in more calories into your diet, is through designing your environment to have those foods readily available. So make sure that your fridge or wherever you store your food has a lot of food available on a day-to-day basis. And then when you create a plan that is, let's say, 5, 6 meals a day, you actually have the food there, so you don't have to worry, so you're not gonna forget. If it takes even having that whole tub of peanut butter on your table there next to your laptop all day, looking at you, staring at you, and chocolate bars in your desk, which is something that I use, says just put in chocolate bars in my desk, otherwise I'm gonna forget sometimes. That is what it takes, right? So just implement those habits until you get into a routine where you are eating more. I'm not gonna get too much into that anymore. I think you guys got the picture. Let me know in the comments below. Have any questions? If you have any things that you're not sure about, hit me up in the comments below. But make sure you're actually exercising before you do that. Yeah, questions have to come from taking action. Those are right questions. Us speculating here and guessing and assuming probably not gonna lead to your improvement, your progression, unless you're actually taking action. So make sure to take action first. Let me know in the questions below if you're not sure about something that you're taking action on. Aside from that, make sure that subscribe button below, support the channel to make sure that you guys get the latest content, the latest stuff that is coming up on this channel. Aside from that, have great holidays. Greetings here from Europe right now. Let me show you guys how this looks like. Beautiful sun almost going out. It is awesome. It is gonna get really, really cold fast here, so I'm gonna head back to the house to get warmed up, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.